Well, hello everyone. I'm Jill Bloom, publisher of Roofing Contractor, and welcome to everybody who's either watching on video or listening to the Roofing Contractor podcast show. And what an exciting group of people we have with us today. I'm honored to be here today with Dave Lawler, the National Sales Manager for Roofing in Canada and Mexico for Rockwool, and also the Vice President of the Alliance. We also have Kyle Thomas, the owner and vice president of Thomas Roofing, and the presidents of the Alliance, and Bennett Judson, the executive director of the Alliance. And also the roofing contractor team, I have Rick D'Amato, our editorial director, and Chris Gray, the managing editor. And first, I just really want to congratulate the Alliance for their 25th anniversary. And Dave, Kyle, and Bennett, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Kyle, Dave, Bennett, thanks for being here this morning, and congratulations on 25 years of the Roofing Alliance. I'm going to throw the first question at Bennett just to get through some of the boilerplate. Just tell us about the Roofing Alliance.
Well, the story behind the Roofing Alliance, briefly, is it was founded in 1996, and the thing that I find that is so interesting to me is it started out as an idea, as a vision. I mean, the leaders at that time were impacting the industry through the National Roofing Foundation with scholarships, some funding for technical research and outreach, but they really wanted to have more of an impact. So in order to do that, they knew they needed to have a larger organization, and they knew they needed a larger endowment in order to make that happen. So starting way back when with Melvin Kruger, with Dudley Miles, Rusty Griffiths, Marlon Pottinger, some of those leaders from way back when really banded together. They hired a consulting company that went out. They interviewed the community, the industry, the roofing industry, and found out that there indeed was an interest, and there was a support group that wanted to do this. And so they went out within a couple of months. They actually had commitments from roofing contractors, which they wanted to have first before they went to the manufacturing community. When they went to the manufacturing community, we had members that were on board immediately. And before you know it, then our organization was up and running with Melvin Kruger as our first president. And the thing that to me is so really means a lot to me is we have some of those industry leaders who were involved in the vision of the organization that are involved to this day. And actually Dudley Miles is the one who several years ago stood up at one of our meetings and said, what he had no idea that what they had talked about in the very beginning would turn into the impactful organization that the Roofing Alliance has become today, and that he was very proud to still be a part of it. So it's an organization. The members not only join and offer their financial support, but they step up and they offer their time and their talents. And that's what makes it successful.
How does the Roofing Alliance work with the National Roofing Contractors Association, the NRCA? How does that work?
Well, the Roofing Alliance is, we're the philanthropic arm of NRCA. We're their educational foundation.
Thanks. And just briefly, what's the mission of the Alliance, the Roofing Alliance?
Well, the mission is that we, through education, technology, philanthropy, and sustainability, want to impact the roofing industry. We want to shape the future of the industry in the best way that we can.
You talked about the vision that led to the formation of the Alliance. I don't know if you can maybe elaborate a little more on what that vision was.
Workforce is obviously the big issue for everybody. How can we bring more how can we impact the workforce, not only through our construction management program, the project manager level, but we try to bring recognize or bring light and awareness to the professionalism of the industry through our MVP program, which recognizes roofing field workers, through our Gold Circle program, which highlights excellence in the industry and projects. So creating an awareness, building a strong workforce, and showing the compassion of our industry, giving back.
Just since we're kind of diving into the history here, so what was the roofing industry and the market like at the time when the Alliance was being formed? And how would you say maybe it compares to now?
comparing things to now is kind of tough because of the COVID environment we've been in. It's really a strange thing to try to wrap your head around. For us in the early 90s, business was relatively good. At the time, you got to think, like Bennett said, before the alliance, the foundation membership was, very, very minimal cost. And then that initial group of leaders went out and asked us for $50,000 commitment. So it was a huge, jump there to say, okay, here's a small, relatively small, medium-sized roofing company in Mobile, Alabama. And they convinced us to commit $50,000 to the alliance. So, for us at the time, business was fine. It was good enough for us to commit to the alliance, obviously. Comparing it to now, like I say, that's a tough one to do. But it was an ambitious goal initially, I think, for that group to do that and to set that bar or that level so high. But like Bennett said, one of the unique things about the initial goal of the alliance was bringing all sectors of the industry together. There really was no vehicle at the time to do that. And so even though the NRCA was very much in play, but it was primarily a contractor association. And so this allowed the distribution community and the manufacturing community, the raw material suppliers in some instances, and even individuals to join and commit back to the industry. The alliance, the work of the alliance has continued through the pandemic. We've done and accomplished a lot. We have not, we've really not lost focus. It's been in a strange way, a year of even more engagement. We typically do the 2 in-person meetings per year, and then we have a few phone calls or whatever. But I guess just because of the amount of stuff that we're working on, the number of projects that we have in play, the projects that we're looking at funding, the task forces and the committees that are meeting, we've actually, in a strange way, that this COVID pandemic weird thing has really, in a way, probably engaged more, or definitely it has engaged more alliance members in the alliance activities during this year than really any other year I can remember in the past, except for maybe the very beginnings when it was really, a lot of meeting centric getting it started. But this past year, all the stuff that we've worked on and continue to work on has engaged a lot of more of the members. So I think the Zoom fatigue is there for sure, but in a way, we probably feel a little more connected to our members and each other in a year like this than otherwise, oddly enough.
Part of one of the changes I was actually hoping you could tell us a little about was the rebranding from the Roofing Industry Alliance for Progress to the Roofing Alliance. If you could just touch on that.
I think my recollection is in the first meetings, just not really making a connection between our name and what we really were, and that was a foundation of NRCA. So like from the name and from our materials, that really couldn't be gleaned. So we decided to really focus in on that and make sure that when people see that name or see our brand or our logo, that becomes very clear that it's kind of it's a foundation. It's obviously not for profit and all that, but that was one of the things that really rings in my recollection. So a lot of people came together with great ideas to rework our elevator speech and all that type of stuff to really make it clean and simple, but understandable at the time too. When you look at the logo, you understand what it is and what it really means.
Dave, you're
right.
about to take the reins of the Alliance. What are some of the key initiatives the Alliance is working on now that you want to focus on?
Well, it's interesting. Bennett has reached out to me and frankly, I need to get back to her, and she's asked me really, hey, this is your term coming up, and what do you want to do? I think I have some good ideas. I want to share them with Bennett and the team first. As we go into this new term for me, it really is about. I've been thinking about it a lot, actually. Although Bennett, I owe you a response. It really is about taking like what has been done, continuing that and creating to me at least, in the year where I will be president of the Alliance, creating a platform to move forward. You know, the work that Kyle's done, you know, around the student competitions, you know, the work that's been done around Ronald McDonald House. I mean, those are high bars, you know. So I'd love to say that I'm going to have myself a, you know, the same level of, you know, of positioning with the Alliance in an outside force like Ronald McDonald House, but I'm not sure that's available. But one thing is for sure, that with Bennett and the team and Kyle, you know, we're going to do everything we can to continue the great work that's been done. You know, certainly celebrate our 25th anniversary, and then build from there, moving forward, and get ready for future leadership.
What role do you all see the Alliance playing in the roofing industry's future, you know, from the pandemic and beyond?
We want to continue having an impact. Workforce, you know, like I said, we're with our student competition, and actually, hopefully, we're going to be making some efforts in the with the career technical education venue, reaching out to students coming in from to the vocational technical trade school. So like I said, the workforce, whether depending on whatever level that might be, and obviously we have scholarships to encourage, you know, our the students to come back into the industry. I guess personally, something I would like to see us kind of move a little bit more towards is technology. We have funded some projects in technology. As a matter of fact, we have a current project going on with Mississippi State University. We're working on a virtual reality training module to acquaint new hires with, you know, like ladder safety and like rooftop safety, you know, as a tool, not to replace anything we have, but to do more with technology, because that's in communicating with a lot of our students, that's what really, you know, piques their interest. So like, for example, in the booth, if we could have our little, you know, VR headsets in there and just, you know, really show that we're moving in that direction. So I'd like to see a little bit more in that. And I'd like to see us do a little bit more in the area of sustainability. We haven't, again, we have funded projects and different programs, but it would be nice to maybe move in that direction again, attracting more interest from some of the, I'll say younger generations, new millennials, whatever they're called, that have that interest, that have that focus. Just, you know, again, to attract more attention to what we're doing, to have an impact in those different ways.
Two big things are the exact same things we're tackling today: workforce and the image of the industry. It's two of the things that pop up every time we have these discussions. And so, you know, the work that the branding committee's done with rebranding and imaging there, but a lot of what the Alliance focuses on is, of course, workforce, attracting workforce. What can we do to enhance the workforce, and then enhance the telling of the stories of the industry? That's our part of our piece of, you know, improving the image of the industry, is the MVP awards, where we tell the story. So as we look forward for the Alliance, I think, you know, I'm stepping on Dave's toes a little bit here. I'm not stepping on him, but yeah, hand it over to Dave now. But we're going to continue to pursue those projects that will do those things.
It's so exciting what you guys have done, right? The two big things, Ronald McDonald House and the student competition. But I want to ask you, when it comes to student competition, how did you start that? And how many years has that been going on now?
It started really, I think, with Dennis Conway's idea of we need to connect with construction management. So it didn't start out as a student competition. It started out with a concept of the roofing industry as a whole needs to have a presence in the construction management schools across the country. So it started there, and then we really brought a team of professors from the academic realm. So Auburn University, University of Florida, and Colorado State University, they all committed, basically the heads of the construction management programs committed to the committee, and they joined in. So it was kind of, it was a group thing that came together and thought that the student competition was just one of the vehicles or one of the mechanisms to connect with them. It did take off, and it has been fun, but it was really just one of the tactics that committee came up with.
But let's talk about Ronald McDonald House and how you picked them.
Well, I could tell you a little bit about how it got started. Charles Antis, one of our Roofing Alliance members, had an opportunity to utilize a Ronald McDonald House room in a hospital, because they have the standalone houses, they have houses connected to the hospitals, and then they have rooms inside the hospital. And Charles Antis, if the industry doesn't know him, is a very passionate individual. And he had this experience, which was very, it was a very subdued experience to begin with. And actually he kind of even pushed away from it. But anyway, he got involved in it, and then he saw the good that was done and how it affected him and his family. And so he actually approached Bill Good at that time, who was NRCA CEO at that time, and just said, you know what, this is something we think he'd like to see the industry get behind this. Especially the thought came up with helping them with maintain the roofs of the buildings, especially the standalone buildings. Of course, there's other opportunities, and we encourage our partners to involve their employees in a lot of different volunteer ways. But that was kind of how Charles Antis planted the seed, and then he watered it, he fertilized it, he got it going, man. So I mean, it took off, and basically what we decided to do is work with the standalone homes. Because obviously the houses connected to the hospitals and stuff, the hospital maintains the roof and the maintenance and all that. So we focused on the 165 standalone houses in the United States. And then we just kind of looked at members that we had in those areas. We don't have Roofing Alliance members in all of those areas, so we reached out to NRCA members as well. And Rod Petrick was the driving force behind that. He was our current president. And Rod Petrick, big presence, strong presence, very motivating person. So he issued a lot of challenges, and within a very short time, the houses were all adopted. The roofs of the houses were adopted. So it's been a great partnership, and it's actually going to be our 5th year of working with them. So the word is finally getting out within among the different houses, the Ronald McDonald houses, because at first it was, I don't want to say they were skeptical, but they were kind of like, really? I mean, tell us a little bit more about this. It seemed a little bit too good to be true, but more and more of the houses are understanding and taking advantage of the relationship in a good way.
Well, congratulations for hitting such a big goal of that.
Yeah, and if I could just add on to that, I mean, obviously you're all very proud of this work, as you should be. It's all really great efforts that you've made over the years. Now, is there anything, maybe I'll challenge you a little bit. Is there anything aside from Ronald McDonald and the student competition that you would say you're proudest of, whether it's the organization itself or membership status? What sticks out to you?
Well, from my perspective, I really like the roofing courses that are being developed at Clemson. As you know, you're getting the feeling for this organization trying to lift the roofing industry, and the labor being issues and things like that. But the young people going into a college or university and finding that this is an actual stream of that they can develop, they can go into, they can work in this industry. I think that's such an important thing. Giving just some knowledge of the fact that this is an industry where you can make a good living, and it's very viable. It's kind of recession proof in some ways. It's essential service when you're talking about COVID. There's just a lot of great things about it. So that to me is a very important part to realign our industry, lift that industry, the thought of what a roofer or what roofing business does in the entire industry, give a stream for young people to come into. To me, that's very important.
One of them is a little bit subdued and not necessarily sexy, but we've funded a lot of research over the years that has benefited the industry. So, I mean, it's not necessarily terribly exciting to discuss latent moisture in concrete decks, but some of the research funding that the Alliance has put into the industry over its lifetime has been very beneficial to the industry. And in the end, has kind of helped keep manufacturers and contractors out of trouble. So I'm very proud of that, even though, like I say, it's not necessarily as fun or exciting to discuss. But I think another one is the MVP awards. I think this year we did it virtually, and it was still exciting, but the opportunity to bring some of the workers from the industry up on stage at the IRE, at the trade show, and really celebrate their stories in front of all their peers, I think is really a great program that the Alliance is doing.
So I do want to talk about membership a little bit. What kind of individual or firm should consider joining or consider membership in the Alliance?
So it is open to individuals, Rick. We do have individual memberships, but it's any stakeholder that is involved in the industry and has that passion or desire to give back. So it could be raw material suppliers, obviously. It could be distribution. It could be manufacturing. It can be a small roofing contractor in Mobile, Alabama. Really anybody.
As Kyle says, anybody can be a member of this organization. This organization, and I'm not sure if I'm looking at current numbers here, Bennett. I think Chris asked about, what's different, from the 96 roofing and today's roofing business, is that the Alliance is vibrant and strong. 25 years in, $13 million committed to funding and research, education, and scholarships since then, plus 5.1 million allocated to 45 different research, education, and technical programs. So there's just been a lot.
Let me ask both of you this then. Call it a sales pitch if you like. It's okay with me. Why did you join?
You lead by example spirit that a lot of us have in this industry, the entrepreneurial, business owner spirit. At that point, we were in the not necessarily transition, but there's three of us. I have two brothers. And so Dad was looking at, his sons joining the business. And I think that to encourage us, I think he looked at it as like, look, this is the industry that's provided a good life for us. And he's I guess, as lead by example, showing us his commitment to the industry is a commitment to me as well. So to me, I took it as that. He looked at this and said, this is our industry. We need to give back to that industry. We need to treat that, with the respect that it deserves. And so by doing that put, like you say, that put the pressure on me in a way, not directly, but indirectly, to try to take that ball and run with it. So he just showed me, at the time that the passion for the industry is important, and you should work towards things that are just bigger than your little office space and what you're dealing with on the daily basis. It's so rewarding to, at times, step out of putting out the fires that are nipping at your heels all day, every day at your workplace, and then engage with a group of professionals from all over the country and tackle the big picture issues, and then see the success, see the results of that. It's extremely rewarding. So it's not really, the sales pitch is, why wouldn't you? I mean, think about it. Why would you not become involved in that?
Rockwell's a big company. Our roofing business in Western Europe especially is very, very large. So not being a part of an organization like NRCA, or taking part in this type of foundation, at the time it just didn't seem like no was an option. So we absolutely, it didn't take many conversations with Bill Good, for Rockwell to make the decision to join. And of course, we've been proud members ever since.
You guys, your leadership and the work you do is so inspiring, and it really does make me proud to be part of the roofing industry. So again, thank you for all you do. And again, congratulations on the 25th anniversary of the Alliance. And if there's anybody, like you said before, if you have any questions, it sounds like the website is the roofingalliance.net. And I know all of these, everyone involved will be thrilled to share their passion for what they're doing with the Alliance. So everyone, thank you for listening or watching, and please stay safe and healthy. We look forward to seeing you next time. And if you do have any questions for us, please reach out to roofingcontractor.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for our free e-magazine and our e-newsletters and our website, so you can always stay up to date with all the great information that we have and videos with these gentlemen. And again, stay safe and healthy. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.